You know, this is a Oasis map that, you know, one, I just want to compliment, you know, really just the cars here, how well in line they are. I know it's not on your screen, folks, but you can see it there.
No, the cars are there.
Yeah, you can see it. Look at that, man. That's nothing like New York. You got a bunch of crazy drivers all over the place.
Yeah, they drive significantly better here.
Yeah, they do.
Oasis.
It's almost as if they're like robots.
Yeah, than they do in the Metro New York area. But you see both of these teams, I know, just getting ready to go here. We do see Effect potentially running the Doomfist with Taimu on the McCree. So I would personally love to see that, see how it works out for Envy.
All right, Effect, do you, boo? Let's see how this works out. As we're going to be following the Immortals POV here, and Agilities with that Genji. Looking forward to seeing what he could do as well. Keep in mind, Envy there playing with that Diva. No hype here. We had some conversations on the desk about hype, but it will be Envy, the Korean player here, playing here in this spot. But now, as Grim Realities looks to dive in there, Fate's going to get that opening kill there on Coco. No Coco Puffs for you, he says. And this is going to be actually Envy turning the tides now as they look to eliminate both tanks.
Yeah, Envy's going to push back Immortals, but Immortals going to get back on the point. You have Agilities and Grim Reality just trying to stall this out here. See Grim just looking for the spot here. Doesn't need to really push in. Knows time moves in the back there on that McCree, but
God.
There comes Effect with a fist right to his face.
To the face.
That is the power of Doomfist. Obviously, he has a large fist that he can do tons of damage with.
Yeah, really emphasize the fist. Get out of the traffic, man. Dear Lord, isn't your mother told you never to play in traffic? In any case, though, Agilities now getting ready here as he's waiting around. This will be control for Envy as they're going to start to accrue some points. Agilities, though, will get shut down, and that is going to be Envy maintaining it yet again. There's Transcendence out as well to try and keep everyone alive in this fight. They're super close there, Matt.
Yeah, it's such a fast reaction from Chips. He sees that Taimu's getting pushed, pops Transcendence, gets all the way back to help him stay alive. The Deadeye comes in there for Taimu. He's able to get one with it, but Envy able to hold on. That is a beautiful Transcendence there from Chips.
Good job from him indeed. And now let's see what Immortals are going to do on the approach. As Grim Reality is going to be a sneaky beaver a la Chris Puckett. Let's see if this works out for him now. See, but Taimu sniffed him out. He smelled it. He knew it was coming. You got to take a bath there, buddy.
Well, you have Taimu all the way in this back position and just able to put shots in at range. The players of Immortals not able to really dive on Karif, able to take out one from range. And here's going to come in. It's going to be a Meteor Strike coming in for Effect. And just the threat of this, Goldenboy, just great for zoning. Doesn't get anybody with it. Agility pops the Dragon Blade on the other side. He's able to get one. This fight looks like it's going to go in the way of Immortals.
Yeah, this was very well done by Immortals there. I mean, you know, they knew that Meteor Strike was coming. They knew that Doomfist had popped that ult. So they really just wanted to play to those advantages a little bit there. They should be able to flip this. Yes, they do. 80 points. 80% was what Envy was able to get there.
That's points as well?
You can say points, yeah. You know what I mean? Listen, yeah, I'm a sassy girl. I'm going to do what I want. But I will say, this is definitely a great start for the boys in blue.
Yeah, Immortals will have two ultimates going into this fight, though. Kareem will end up getting that Transcendence. Grim Reality with the Pulse Bomb. We'll see what he could do with it. Maybe you desuit Mickey, get him out of that Diva mech, and put a lot of pressure on EnVyUs. So the kill's going in favor of either team. There comes the Transcendence from Kareem, keeping the rest of his teammates alive. Going to force Effect all the way back. He'll be able to do nothing here.
Yeah, oh my goodness. And you saw that range on the punch, though, that Doomfist had. Just had to force Envy out of the fight, but luckily for his teammates, you had Fate there for the pickup. That is going to continue to be this hold, and they're looking pretty good here so far.
Well, you saw a little bit of the downside of Doomfist, right? He goes with the uppercut, uses the punch, and then he uses the seismic slam. Doesn't get anything for it. You have Winston right on you. You have no abilities at that moment to get away.
Yeah, no
disengage.
That
is really the downside of Doomfist, and I think we'll definitely see, you know, as play goes on with him in the meta, you know, teams adjust to how you play around his abilities.
Fate now, waiting for this here. And you have Agilities with this Dragon Blade. Look for him to, the opportune moment to make this one happen here. Oh, and Taimu says, not today, son! And absolutely shuts him down. There goes the Diva self-destruct as well. Doesn't find anything with it, though. But Effect is going to dive right in, and before Envy can get in, he is going to punch the crap out of him. He keeps punching everyone. This is not even fair. Like, someone needs to tell him. Seriously, like, this is a problem.
Yeah, but Kareem and Fate staying alive for Immortals on the point, so they're still scoring up to 87% right now. They just need to stall this out here. He'll get up to 98, 99%. side.
Punches came through, man.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4. Now you see EnVy finally able to take the point back here, and you will have a Deadeye for the next fight. You'll have a Meteor Strike, and you'll have a Self-Destruct. So, and Sound Barriers also. EnVy has a ton to work with. It's really going to be on agilities with that Dragon Blade. Maybe force some ults out from the side of EnVy. Then you come back, get a big pulse bomb from Grim Reality, swing things in your favor.
Yeah, and both sides, they are going to have some sustain. I'm looking for Verbo, too, because he's going to have that sound barrier in just a little bit. They are going to pop the Transcendence as well as the sound barrier on the side of EnVy. And now it's going to be a laser light show as Mickey is going to take out 2. Taimu and Chips able to find him as well. And this is looking like an EnVy win here. And it will be as the boys in blue take that first point. And I have to say, man, you know, I didn't really know what to expect coming into this, but the Cowboy and the Criminal working together there, and Doomfist and McCree.
Yeah, you saw Taimu, you know, they gave him a lot of space on that McCree to do a lot of nice things. Every time they would dive, you saw Chips come all the way back. You had Mickey coming back to help him. And then it was Effect and Coco. You know, Coco on the Winston there was able to get up in the opponent's face. And Doomfist is a hero that once he starts to get rolling, landing a lot of his abilities, obviously you get that plus 30 barrier, you start to build up a large HP pool and really cause a lot of chaos. And you saw there, Immortals was really not equipped to deal with it. I think that's going to be a big thing in these first 2 weeks. How people, you know, adjust to using Doomfist on their own teams.
I mean, we
and
saw
then dealing
Lunatic
with
High.
Doomfist.
We saw a Lunatic High in South Korea for Apex, right? Like, you know, they couldn't quite figure out how to make that work as well. And I'm sure a lot of players are just looking at all this and saying, like, how do we make this work if you're playing Doomfist? How do we stop it if you're going against him? Meanwhile, though, Taimu continuing on with that McCree, and boy, do I love to see Taimu on McCree. And this is looking like straight domination from EnVy at the start as they get full control here.
Yeah, it's hard there for Fate, right? He jumps in, he's the solo tank right now on Immortals running the Winston, and he just gets blown up. All the focus fire coming from EnVy onto him, but the few kills for Immortals as they back up a little bit. See Effect there going with a punch right to Grim Reality's face. He has been so accurate with those punches from Doomfist. As,
he really has.
You know, obviously, you have the primary fire where you have those 4 shots out of his hand cannon, but really it's that rocket punch where you can do a ton of the damage. It's been very impressive the way Immortals has bounced back in this fight, though, Goldenboy. They disengage, wait for Fate to come back. Now they're coming back, picking up some kills. They're on the point. Looks like it's going to go in their favor.
Yeah, they were able to just, you know, back up, identify, like, hey, this isn't a fight that's going to work out for us. We still have time. But still, no one has been able to capture this point just yet. And Effect is going to go right in there and just punch EnVy in the face. That is absolutely brutal. And then Grim Reality, he's going to take it as well. This is, like, insane. The punches. I love it, man. It's so sick to watch.
This is some sick Doomfist play coming out of Effect. You were wondering if Doomfist would affect the meta, if he'd be a difference maker. Definitely has for EnVyUs. As see, Taimu does have the Deadeye. You have the Nano Boost as well. The side of Immortals, you do have that Dragon Blade. We'll see if Agilities can make anything happen with it here.
Yeah, and Taimu now looking for the Deadeye, but didn't quite find much with that one. Sound Barrier is going to drop. That's going to keep them in this fight, though. Grim Reality now, maybe it's going to be his turn to shine. He did just use his Pulse Bomb. Agility, though. Dragon Blade finds 1, finds 2. And that's going to be EnVy finding another one as well. And this will be a hold here for Immortals. Well, this will be a capture, apologies, for Immortals. EnVy, though, really both teams invested a lot into that fight. Now it's just going to be a matter of, you know, how does EnVy bounce back? I mean, if you look at it like this, right, they're going to have Effect. He will get his ultimate pretty soon. A couple ults will come online. Coco will have the Earth Shatter. I wonder
could you combine Earth Shatter
synergize
with the Meteor Strike? I mean, I guess
happens,
you could.
I will walk out of this room right now.
I mean, that would be difficult because I would be casting for a very long time alone. You see the Earth Shatter come in, nothing connects there for Coco. Now you're going to see the Meteor Strike come out. It's Effect searching for players here.
Looking for it, gets right into back lines, finds one, that's going to be Kareev. You won't be able to stay alive when Doomfist has you in his sights there. And that looks like a pretty solid approach from EnVy. They managed to take down 2 folks there. That's going to be the 3rd as well. Effect will finally fall courtesy of Genji, but I like what EnVy's doing here, man. Like, they're really... It's a lot of individual play that's just been very impressive.
Yeah, the one thing I saw, you know, Zumba from Lunatic High, who's on his own stream talking about, is that when Doomfist is in the game, you know, it's so much different than previous times with, you know, your Tracer Genjis or maybe Tracer 76, where, you know, how do you go about protecting your support? Doomfist just throws, you know, a huge hole in everything you've already been doing, trying to protect those supports as you hear the Dragon Blade come out. for Agilities. He's able to slide through two. You see Taimu trying to stay alive, and that's so difficult, right? He's trying to focus down Agilities with the blade. Grim Reality comes in, takes him out. But here comes Effect on the Doomfist.
Dear Lord. And the Tracer's going to have to recall there as well, forcing that one out. This is he's just going for it, man. It's just the most absurd thing. You see the charge happening. You know it's coming, but there's like literally nothing that you can do to stop it because he's going to punch you in the face one way or another. Oh, dear.
There you see Coco with the Earth Shatter. He's able to take down Grim Reality. Another Meteor Strike coming in from Effect as he takes out Verbo. And you see just the extra shields that it gives him when he connects. So when you connect with the Meteor Strike, it's an extra 75 shields for everybody you hit. He gets up to like 300 plus HP. Yeah. And that's when Doomfist becomes very scary.
Now, while we have been talking a lot about Doomfist, though, you can't forget about Agilities on the back line here. And once that blade comes out, once you hear the Dragon Blade, you know Agilities is out for blood. So everyone has to be very cautious of that. But EnVy still, despite it, doing a good job. 99% there. But don't count out Immortals just yet, as they're looking to fight back.
You see Immortals now on the point, trying to stay alive in this first map. Agility's able to take out Mickey, and here comes another blade. It goes through Taimu. You see him on the point, able to take out Harry Hook.
Three.
That may be enough to swing the point back in Immortals' favor. It is. But still a huge mountain to climb here, Goldenboy. EnVy, 99% needs one more fight to go in their favor, and they'll take map number 1.
That's right. You got to see what ultimates are coming online as well. So Chips will have, you know, the ability to. I mean, look. Here's the thing. Here's the way I'm looking at it right now. It's like, if you're EnVy, you really just look at Effect. You look at Effect to get in there and just be a disruptor there, right? And that, to me, is like the biggest thing that we've been seeing throughout this game. And look, Effect now, he was in a bad position. He just gets right out, comes back down, and kills EnVy immediately.
Well, that's sick. He uses the Meteor Strike to avoid the self-destruct, goes through Kareev. Some impressive play here from Effect. Fate just trying to stay alive here, puts down a bubble. He ain't gonna last very long. That's all EnVy needed was one fight to go in their favor. Taimu here with the Deadeye. Agilities goes down the hole. He'll have to come back up, but man, EnVy has been so impressive here in map number 1.
Yeah, you said it was one fight was all they needed there, but there comes the Transcendence. Looking to keep everyone alive, but now it really will just be Kareev working with his other solo support there, Verbo. Grim Reality, maybe this is an opportunity to be able to just do something, but he's by all his lonesome. Just will be it. Done. I mean, there was so much, when you really think about it, all the things that Immortals could have possibly have done there, but at the end of the day, you just get punched in the face.
We'll take a look at the play of the game. It comes from Kareev on the side of Immortals. On the Zenyatta. Little Transcendence action.
Some peace and love, man. We need it, you know? We need it.
Everybody needs a little peace and love, right?
Yeah. A little peace and love. That's what's up. In any case, so man, I'm looking at myself right now and there, and I'm like glossy as heck. You know, it's hot in here, man.
It's not that hot in here. I think it's just you.
Yeah, no, I sweat profusely. I mean, when you like have me in this getup here.
So
you know,
something I talked about a little bit during the game to just completely avoid what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, because no one wants to really acknowledge my sweat.
Yeah.
No, it's very true.
So
I
said, I know Zumba talking about how do you protect the supports, right? When Doomfist is on the other team, you know, it's very difficult and very different as opposed to when it's Tracer Genji. You saw there for EnVy, they ended up bringing out Reinhardt there and having Taimu on the McCree. So you kind of leave those few back. Then when the dive comes in, I mean, you have Reinhardt swinging his hammer. That gets a little bit of an adjustment, a little bit of buff recently. You have Taimu, very good with McCree, able to flash either the Tracer or the Genji, able to take them out. And then you just send Effect with, I know, his Winston, Coco or Mickey in that scenario, into their back line. And you really cause a lot of problems. It was a very nice comp there you saw from EnVyUs.
Yeah, EnVy had a plan going into it. Obviously worked out to great effect. Hey, puns. But I know you love me. But in any case,
how many
guys,
weeks is this?
It's going to be 6. You're going to have to deal with this, guys. You dealt with it in Overwatch World Cup, and it's happening some more. In any case, so let's go ahead and get ready for our second map. It's going to be Numbani as we get ready for this matchup here. Immortals, though, looking for them to answer back here. I think, I think it's very doable for the Season 0 champions.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just how will they adjust to Effect running the Doomfist. And if we do see Doomfist here, and now it kind of opens the door up for EnVy. You can play a little bit mind games, right? Now maybe Immortals is going to change their comps up, thinking you're going to run the Doomfist, and Effect can go back to the Tracer, which we've seen he's been so good at. really cause a lot of problems. And I know I was asking a question back in the green room. You see all the destruction that Doomfist caused here in the airport.
That was Effect just punching everything.
Well, security lines are a big problem, in terms of airports. I can understand why Doomfist probably got started.
I wonder if like Numbani's like a better airport than LAX.
Any airport is better than LAX.
Like I would say Heathrow, horrible airport too.
It's all right.
It's just massive.
Yeah, well, Heathrow, I usually just get there and I just get out and hang out in London. I don't go anywhere else.
You get there and you go.
So I don't really have a lot of experience there. But you wonder, where does Doomfist go after he punches all of those robots? Because you look at the rest of Numbani and it seems to be in pretty good shape.
You talked about the trees earlier, Matt.
Yeah, the trees are looking very good.
They're very well kept.
Yes, very well kept.
It's a little shocking here.
So I'm just taking a look at the comps now. I know from both of these teams, obviously, still getting ready for the side of Immortals. On the side of EnVy, it looks like they'll be on defense first here. You'll have a very interesting comp. So they're going to run Chips solo support on the Ana, but you do have Taimu, right? As Sombra, kind of hacks health pack, she becomes kind of a support. You'll have Effect running Doomfist and Harry Hook going over to the 76. Hook. I think I'm really excited for this comp to see how it works out. I love watching Harry play on the 76. I almost feel bad when they put him on Lucio with how good of a 76 he is. Yeah. I think this is where you can really start to see EnVy shine, Alex. You have so many standout DPS players. This is a composition where you can really put all of them in a position to succeed.
But it's like what the Death said earlier, right? And Taimu's going to open up the first kill there on Karib. That's actually going to be massive because that is going to be losing a first support there. But the Desk had mentioned before, right, that you have this very unique situation with EnVy where you have this guy in Harry Hook who is a great support player, but he's also a fantastic DPS player as well with his 76. And we saw at the Overwatch World Cup the impact that he had when he switched. It was near instant.
Well, you're also able to do this because Chips is such a talented healer.
Yes.
I think if he was not so good as a Ana, able to keep the rest of his teammates alive, he would not be able to get away with this comp. As you see Mickey, he's already going to get a D-suit onto EnVy. You're going to take out Fate as well. So right away, both of the tanks fall for Immortals. You're going to have to wait now again. So a very good start here for EnVyUs.
Yeah, not bad at all, but Agilities, though, not to be outdone, will take out Effect on the Doomfist. And this is interesting, right? Like, how is Doomfist going to play this one up here? Is he looking to protect more of the back line? Because Mickey's just getting very aggressive up front. I mean, and getting in everyone's face, as you should with D.Va.
Well, I think obviously Mickey has done a fantastic job. I think Taimu has really been the problem here. I know on the Sombra, he's able to just get behind lines. You saw early he took out Karib before they could even get close to making a push. There you saw him get behind enemy lines and he's able to pick up some damage. Now he's got the EMP. Now you can cause a lot of problems here. So when Immortals tries to push, maybe they invest a Transcendence and Dragon Blade into this. You pull out that EMP, it kind of stops everything.
Karib able to bust out the Transcendence early out as well, so that could pan very well for them. Agilities, though, unfortunately, isn't going to get much stock out of that Dragon Blade. He was able to, do some damage, but really he had to wait for the health pack, and that is going to be EnVy winning this one out yet again. And forcing Immortals back. They have little ults to work with there. I mean, Verbo should be getting his sound barrier relatively soon. Agility's just in a world of hurt at the back of the EnVy defense point there, and I have to say, this is just very impressive stuff from EnVy so far.
Yeah, I mean, Agility's pops the blade, he's able to take care of Harry, but he gets Bionic Grenaded, can't get any of that healing from the Transcendence, so he's forced to hide on the health pack. EnVy on the point wins the rest of those engagements. And look, that's a great fight for EnVy in terms of, ultimates invested from the side of Immortals, and you really didn't have to invest much. You invested an EMP there. You see Effect now going to get Karib here with another first pick. So EnVy at the beginning of these fights has done a fantastic job able to get first picks. As Effect takes out another one here.
Effect's Doomfist has just been such a problem, man, and that is just going to have to be a force out. Yeah, just go ahead and go for a little skydive action there. And I mean, honestly, like, again, you look at what EnVy's doing so well right at the start. They're going right after those supports. Karib falls so early in fight, and then that kind of puts all that sustain on Verbo, and then he can't, and then that's it. It just all goes.
You also win that fight of your EnVy, and you didn't invest any ultimates into it. So now you have literally everything to work with if your team EnVyUs, and you see the EMP come out there from Taimu, the Tac Visor as well. You're able to handle Fate. And now you just have your tanks here on the point, just waiting for everybody else to get back. You're going to be able to deal with the rest of the players on Immortals.
This is just, calculated domination from Team EnVy.
Calculated
domination. Everything they do.
What did they use to calculate that?
Maybe a calculator like Texas Instruments or something like that. I don't know,
Oh,
like a trigonometry calculator. I never got a chance to use one of those. I didn't really do well at math. You know, I just think that it's insane what they're doing here. They haven't invested a lot into this, and they are going to have the nano boost. They're going to have Mickey as well with that self-destruct. Fareed popping the Transcendence now to try and keep them alive in the fight. This could be the opportunity they were looking for, as Agilities is going to dive in there, taking out Effect. But the nano boost was put onto Harry Hook, though. Despite that, they are able to get the kills, and they're forcing out these ultimates from EnVy. This is looking very good here for Immortals, and they are going to capture it. But my goodness, that was a very, very difficult attack for Immortals.
Yeah, they had a lot of abilities there at the end to swing things in their favor. So we saw Agilities with the Dragon Blade able to get into the back line. They had Kareev on the point. He was able to keep everybody up with that Transcendence. We'll take a look at Effecto on the Doomfist. He was able to get one punch through, another one there onto EnVy.
Yeah,
but it will be Immortals unlocking the payload here, as I know it was a great defense from EnVy. Not good enough, though. So we will see Taimu stay on the Sombra here, as you're going to have Harry Hook switch over to the Lucio, and then Chip's going to be switching over to Zen. So you're going to have both of those supports with Sombra. So usually you have Sombra take the place of one of those supports. We'll see how this works, Brenton.
Yeah, well, you know, they are still going to have, I still always have faith, right, in the way that, you know, Timing plays this Sombra, right? I think it is going to work out. And even then, he was able to take out Fate there. They take out 2 for that fight, and they were not winning that ultimate battle, quote unquote. You know, like there was 1 ult on the side of EnVy, 3 for Immortals. And in a game of ultimates and how valuable those abilities are, EnVy really got the most value out of
yeah, I mean,
the EMP.
Immortals opens things up there with that sound barrier. Then you see the EMP come out from Taimu, and then EnVy is able to push them all the way back. So it was a good fight from Team EnVyUs. You see Coco just playing on this corner here, waiting for the rest of his teammates to get back. It's a big first opening pick, though, able to take out Chips is Grim Reality. Now he's going to work his way back towards that payload. That's both supports here at the beginning for Grim Reality. 2 huge pickoffs.
That's exactly what you want if you are Immortals. But then you're going to have Effect who just comes in. He's going to take out potentially both of your supports. And Kareev went huge there, taking out Effect, though. That was massive for them. They are now going to continue to roll this payload down through the streets phase here, get their 2nd point. But, you know, I don't know if you noticed right there, but Effect was in the back lines with 2 supports. Just chilling, you know? And then he just, like, punches one to oblivion, disintegrates him completely, and nearly took out Kareev.
Yeah, but when Grim Reality takes out both supports of EnVy right at the beginning of that, I mean, obviously you still have all the sustain on the side of Immortals to withstand that. So I think it's important that EnVy contests this here. You see the Transcendence come out for Chips. It's Effect able to deal with one there. You see, you know, he is so effective, you know, able to just line up these punches, and it doesn't seem like super difficult, right? I mean, he's Doomfist just charging in there, able to land those rocket punches over and over again, but still able to line those up, pick the players off quick, and connect with them, getting that damage. I mean, very impressive.
You even saw in that fight when Fate dived in, Effect punched him, took out a huge chunk of his health, and even with you know, the support that was there, he was just demolished immediately. Insane.
We'll see Mickey now go over to Zarya. So we wondered maybe we see a more Reinhardt Zarya combinations. Now we're going to see Winston Zarya here running with the Doomfist, and you see the effect. He jumps down, able to hit an uppercut onto Fate, and now going to use the rocket punch to get up the staircase. Does not want to get hit by the self-destruct.
Oh,
but it's nice. 2 big kills there coming out from Grim Reality. We'll see if Immortals can get the better hand here of EnVy. They do use a Transcendence here, just keeping everybody up as they want to get the payload around that corner, push EnVy all the way back. It's a beautiful Tracer play here from Grim Reality that has really moved this payload down that 2nd street phase, and now pushing it here towards the end of this map.
This is going to be a big attack here for EnVy, as they're going to try and you know, hold this attack off on the Immortals side. But on the other end of that spectrum, you're going to have a sound barrier drop for Immortals as well. Meanwhile, Effect, he's watching, waiting for the prime opportunity. But Agilities, though, is going to cut down Taimu to size. He's going to look for another opportunity, but gets dragged right into the Graviton Surge, and that is going to allow EnVy to be able to clear them out. Chips is going to come through with the Transcendence just to try and stall it out as best he possibly could, hoping that his teammates can get back in time, and it looks like they are going to be able to do just that. But the question is, can they take him out quick enough?
Oh, the Transcendence is just a second too late as Mickey and Coco drop right before Chips pops it. Now he's going to have to switch over the Sombra to get back towards the point. Envy looking to hold on here, Goldenboy, as you see the Pulse Bomb come out. Grim Reality able to connect with Mickey, but it looks like members of Immortals are falling. Taimu going to go over to the Pharah here. They will hold off Immortals before Immortals finishes the map. It's a good defensive stand there from Envy at the end. As Envy now will just need to complete the map to take game number 2.
That was very impressive there from Envy. Honestly, from both sides, though, because Immortals, I mean, they were fighting an uphill battle at the start there, and we actually had one of those pulse bombs from Grim Reality. And he had a couple there, a couple good ones that gave him the win. That was a critical one there on Effect as well. Effect has just been such a difference maker in this game.
Well, yeah, and I think you saw, when Envy was winning a lot of those fights early, their good first point defense. It was Effect, doing a lot of damage on the Doomfist, getting those first picks, Taimu on the Sombra as well. And then things started to switch in Immortals' favor. Grim Reality on the Tracer started to get going, started to feel himself a little bit. And he was picking up those first bloods in those fights, switching things over to Immortals. So you see how big, when you're able to get that first kill in the fights, it can be for your team. And we'll see what Immortals goes with here on defense. It looks like Grim Reality will be going on the 76. Agility's on the Tracer here. And I wonder, does Envy move away from Doomfist? We saw it on Oasis. We saw it here on defense on Nabani. See Effect play the Tracer a little bit.
Yeah, why not, right? You have one of the better Tracers out there. Yeah, sure, he can crush it on Doomfist, but go ahead and, let him do his thing on Tracer as well. I think overall, they have a lot more weapons than even I had initially anticipated, because I was wondering, who would play the Doomfist if they even opted to play the Doomfist on Envy, and that question has certainly been answered in style.
Well, I think it'll be an evolution about how competitive Overwatch rosters are put together. I think Envy is one of the teams that has so much versatility, right? Where one of your support players, your Lucio, can also be one of the better 76s, and you can move players around, put them in different roles, come up with creative comps. I think that will definitely be the future of competitive Overwatch, where you get 6 guys who are extremely versatile, extremely talented mechanical players. Let them figure it out from there.
Yeah, you need to have that diversity. I 100% agree with you there. It is super helpful going into it. You can think about it for Overwatch League as well. But now, have Envy's first attack here as Coco's looking to disrupt the back line, but realizing he's going to have to go and support his teammates here, losing Fate early. But here's the other thing, right? You lost your support early on in this fight, so it just doesn't really, they're going to have to kind of hold it back just for a little bit, maybe continue to apply a bit more pressure, but they need Harry Hook there to keep them going in this battle.
In fact, trying to get some damage here. Now you're going to see Coco dive in for Envy. So they've done a nice job pushing Immortals back around this corner. Yeah. We'll see if they can get Taimu sit up here in a position. Maybe in the back on top of the payload here as you see him jump up, getting a little bit of that high ground advantage. The Immortals, they need to come contest this here as Envy getting very close to taking this.
And Chips just lays it on him, and that is one of the reasons why he's the better support, in North America. And you're just seeing it in full effect here. Harry Hook as well, just putting in so much damage. And that is going to be Envy's successful attack on their first go.
I just feel like Immortals was very passive there. Like, they let Envy just kind of get that good positioning on the point, and they just sat on the corner, right? I mean, you saw Effect and Coco sitting very close on that left-hand side. Then you saw Taimu putting shots at range. It seemed like nobody wanted to be the initiator on the side of Immortals, and by the time they did it was way too late. Taimu pulled out the tac visor. You had Chips pick up a kill or two.
Jumped in and died immediately.
Yeah. See Kariv load up some balls there. Put him right in Effect's mouth.
Oh, okay. Well, Rocky Mountain oysters. I found a way to fit it in. That also didn't sound right there as well, but we're just gonna gloss past that one.
So now you see Effect actually go right over to Doomfist. So a little bit shocking because I thought his Tracer play was pretty good there on the first one. It seemed like they were making very good progress, obviously, with 5 minutes left to get to this second point. You see it's going to be an early Transcendence coming out here for Kariv. The sound barrier comes out from Envy, so they're going to disengage here, just try and survive this, and then really get aggressive once it wears off.
Yeah, that's going to force out the Primal Rage from Fate. He's already getting whittled down, though, so he has to be mindful of that. But despite it, you have Agilities getting the critical kills, the pickups that are necessary. Now one has to wonder, what are they going to look to do here, Envy, as Agilities, is, doing some good old-fashioned spawn watching.
Yeah, look, I mean, Immortals has a ton of ultimates here. They pushed all the way up. They want to stop EnVy from even getting around this corner. For the side of EnVy, you do have that Transcendence. You have Coco with the Primal Rage. So maybe you get Coco in a position to use that Primal Rage, maybe try and force some of the ultimates out on the side of Immortals. We'll see. As the Pulse Bomb comes out from Agility, he's not able to get anything.
Yeah, doesn't find much out of that. Meanwhile, you're going to have Agilities continuing to dance around here and could potentially dive after those supports, but that is going to force out the Transcendence from Chips. A self-destruct there as well for EnVy to try and clear things out, but now Grim Reality, well, he's going to use that Tack Visor and see if he can just go ahead and rain down destruction. So has to be mindful, though, that Mickey doesn't get in his face, and that's exactly what's going on there. Mickey, all up in that grill, is going to shut him down, looking to get this second point now, and this is looking fantastic for EnVy.
Yeah, EnVy was just able to stay alive long enough for Taimu to get that Tack Visor. As soon as he gets it, he pops it up, combines it with the Primal Rage of Coco. They're able to pick up 2 kills. And then you saw Grim Reality use his Tack Visor. The Transcendence comes out from the side of EnVy. They're able to stay alive through it. It's a good push there from EnVyUs, as Effect does have this Doomfist Salt, the Meteor String, as he's right around the corner. Agility needs to be careful here. Seismic Slam, rising uppercut. Coco comes in, drops right on his head. That is the power of the Winston Doomfist combination.
Yeah, that synergy there is insane, because if Effect lands just one punch on you, that's so much HP lost. And then with the Tesla Cannon from Winston, you know, just latching onto whoever he's near, that just rains down destruction, rains down death all over them. But in any case, though, let's see how this all pans out, because now EnVy, they're going to pop the sound barrier. Effect, though, continuing to just punch things in the face, as he has been doing throughout this entire series. Taimu's turn to shine as well with the Tack Visor, as they're going to ward him off and hold him back as best they possibly could. Meanwhile, Mickey, he's going to get that self-destruct. Actually, that is going to be 2 kills. That's going to be a D-Mech and Agilities falling there, and this is looking very good for EnVy, but Effect will fall. I don't even think it's going to matter. Nope, that is going to do it. EnVy will get it 3-2, and that will be their second victory. And I have to say, very just EnVy with the Doomfist has just been crushing it.
Yeah, and you saw there a little bit towards the end where Effect, he would just find the enemy diva, EnVy, and he would just go right for him with those punches. You know, the rocket punch, the rising uppercut, the seismic slam, all of the
Because what can he do? What can he do about it?
Well, right. Then he's forced to kind of take down his Matrix within Taimu, now on the 76. Pops the Tack Visor, able to do a ton of damage. And if you're the diva player, if you're EnVy, it's like, well, what do? Do you go chase after him with that defense Matrix, or do you just kind of, you know, let Doomfist just punch you to death? It's a very difficult kind of predicament for